Alright guys, so in this part of the classroom, what you're going to find here is the basics of commentary, and essentially just commentary lessons. This is where I pretty much provide to you guys the best tips and tricks I use every single day to improve my commentary. This was not something I learned in one day. I always say I've been commentating for about 6 to 7 years, and throughout all of that experience, I have picked up on certain habits that I started to realize help my video out and actually make it more engaging and entertaining. Now let me preface this by saying I am an introvert, meaning if you put me in a group full of people, I won't be sounding overly confident like you guys see me talking on here. So even if you're also an introvert and you don't like public speaking, I promise you what you guys are about to learn in this part of the course will be very beneficial. But let's just jump right in because there actually is a lot to go over. Get enough sleep. I know this seems very basic and you guys probably like, okay, we already know this, but I really do have to break this down because there have been so many times where I've been commentating with lack of sleep, not caffeinated, and I promise you it ends up actually requiring more work along the way with my video editing. Now what do I mean? Essentially, when you are sleep deprived, your thoughts don't run as smoothly and your ideas for what you can say for each clip just aren't as good. You need to be a bit creative to be able to commentate about random clips all the time and memorize what's going on in each clip. So if you are tired or exhausted, take that 30-minute nap that you need and then get back on the mic and then try to commentate. Overall, in my opinion, it'll lead to less stuttering, more ideas said within one sentence versus it just being chopped up and choppy, and just a smoother experience for the viewer. Also, you'll be a lot more energetic and a lot more passionate about the things you're going to say, rather than, let's say, a person working at McDonald's drive-thru talking over a mic being absolutely exhausted, saying, "Hey, how can I help you? What can I get for your order?" There's no enthusiasm at all. So get your sleep, drink your caffeine, drink whatever you want, because like I said, it'll just be an easier experience editing as well. Less cuts, and just overall less to edit. It's less work. Alright, and this next part, it's definitely a mindset thing that a lot of people just need to realize when it comes down to commentating, especially on YouTube. And the reality is, you guys are an entertainer. It is your job to cure the viewer's boredom and make them feel more entertained. Meaning, if you're tired that day, had a bad day, something bothered you, you got broken up with, you have relationship problems, you have friendship issues, you got into a fight, whatever it is, do not bring that on the mic. The moment this mic turns on and you start commentating for YouTube videos, all those things leave. You pretty much have to put up a fake persona for YouTube. Why? Because it is entertainment. If you start looking at this like a job, like you're just trying to get over with this, trying to get over the commentary, just move on to the next video or the next clip as fast as possible, it's not going to be an entertaining video. Overall, your commentary, like I said, should be entertaining. I've said that a million times so far. Just like people go to concerts or these movie stars on set, the moment they start acting or the moment these singers step on stage, whatever they just experience outside their real life goes away temporarily until that act is done or that concert is over. They don't bring that baggage onto the stage, which is pretty much why I said commentating is almost like acting. You have to put up a front temporarily, and like I said specifically, when this mic turns on and you're starting to commentate for your videos, don't bring any of the baggage that you deal with in your real life, and your job specifically in this moment is to commentate and entertain. Like I said, it's more of a mindset thing, but I do hope I clarified it a bit. Now in this part, I specifically made it for those introverts. I did speak up about this a little bit in the intro, and essentially there is a complete difference between public speaking and commentating. I am very good at commentating. I have developed certain skills to commentate. But if you were to put me on stage, I promise you I am stuttering. I am not going to talk the same way. It is not the same thing. Even though I seem overly confident on here, if you put me in front of 1,000 people, I'm gonna stutter. I am just not used to talking to people face to face, even though my videos get millions of views. So if you are an introvert, don't worry, you could still make this work. The reason you could easily make this work is because you can edit out every single thing you say wrong. You can go back, you mess up, you say a certain word wrong, go back, re-say it again, edit it out, and it'll overall just be a very easier experience. A lot of people can say things in one go, in one large sentence. You don't have to say it like that. You're not on stage, you're not public speaking, and you don't need a script in front of you. Commentate like you're storytelling. Not like you're reading a script, giving a speech to thousands of people, but almost like you're talking to someone one-on-one. Don't start getting nervous the moment this mic turns on, because the reality is, it's just a camera and a mic. No one's here watching me in my room right now, and that's the kind of mindset a lot of people need to have. Be confident, and stop thinking that you're going to be judged by thousands of people in front of your face right now. It's just not like that. Okay, now we're getting into the more juicier stuff, which is basically your commentary should be adding value to the video's overall experience. What does that mean? Basically, after the video is done, is my commentary better with the video, or am I just interrupting it? There have been so far a couple videos I have seen from you guys students, and as I'm watching the video, I'm like, this guy's kind of interrupting it. It doesn't seem overall smooth. He doesn't seem like he's really adding his value or her value. Sometimes people like to commentate in a way where they're just saying a couple words, trying to move on to the next clip, so so they can just be monetized by YouTube. Sure, that may get you past monetization, but overall, it's just not an entertaining video. Your commentary should be adding value to the video, giving the viewer more understanding about what's going on in each clip, and not just overly talking, interrupting the video, hoping that this person stops talking. There have been so many times in the beginning of my YouTube career where I started to commentate, where someone in the comments was telling me, can this guy please stop talking? If only his commentary wasn't added. Wow, his commentary is annoying. And then I started to realize, I just can't keep just saying random words. I actually have to make sure what I say is adding value and is making the video overall a better experience for the viewer. That is how you get longer engagement. For example, a good idea of people who have good commentary in their videos are dashcam reviewers or people in cop chasing crime videos. They're giving an extra level of commentary explaining what's going on before the clip even starts, who the person is, what they did wrong, and overall what might happen next in the clip. I like their commentary in the video. I prefer it rather than it just being empty. That's how the person should be feeling about your video. If you were to show this random video to a friend of yours, are they gonna feel like this video is being interrupted or that your commentary is adding more to the video? That's what you guys should focus on every single time you commentate. Every niche is different. Everybody's gonna commentate in different ways. So just try to be creative with it and make sure that once again, you're adding value rather than always interrupting and it being just redundant. And this next part is voice and delivery. This is probably one of the most important parts because this is the part I honestly see you guys having the hardest time with. There is a certain tone you guys are going to be having in each one of your videos that, depending on what niche you're in and what you're involved in, will reflect on how you should commentate in that video. For example, if it's a funny niche, don't act super monotone and boring like you're reading a script. And also if you're in like a Karen niche, a freak out niche, a woke people niche, don't be overly goofy and too energetic. You should be more informative. But even if you're overly energetic, that's still a lot better than a monotone speech, which sorry, most of you guys are having. I said in the main course that people shouldn't be sounding robotic, that you shouldn't be reading something, and that this shouldn't be something that you're trying to get over with and go on to the next clip really quickly. Be passionate about each clip. And let me just give you guys a quick example of how monotone can be really bad. Let's say there is a person in the street, he's getting jumped by 4 people. Just a random clip. Don't be like this. So guys, in this part of the video, this guy's getting jumped by 4 people and it seems like he's helpless. Check it out, leave your thoughts down in the comments. That sounds incredibly boring and I would skip your commentary. Be more like this. So this next clip, guys, basically this man gets jumped by 4 people. I'm not even sure what he did wrong, but these 4 people are absolutely horrible for jumping an innocent man. Now I'm just creating my own thing, but you guys get the point. Change your tone. Don't keep everything the same tone. And if you need to pause, then do that. And I'm doing this right now commentating. You don't see me making this video keeping one tone the entire time. I am leveling out my voice. I'm never the same pitch the entire time. And for those who are doing their intros, instead of you guys sounding all the same, hey guys, welcome back to this channel. So in this video, we're gonna check out some crazy Karens going crazy. I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned to the end to find my favorite clip. A lot of you guys sound like that. Instead, do it like this. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to this Karen freakout video. In today's video, we're gonna be checking out some crazy clips of Karen going absolutely bananas. Stay tuned to the end to find my personal favorite clip. Well, let's just jump into this first one. And as you guys can see, I'm leveling it out. I'm pausing, I'm taking it slow, rather than me just reading a sentence. The reason I put, hey, welcome to McDonald's here is because this is how McDonald's workers sound. Don't sound like a McDonald's worker at a drive-thru. Hey guys, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you guys for your order? That sounds so boring. Sound more like, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to McDonald's. What can I get you guys for your order? Of course, no one's gonna sound like that at McDonald's, but you guys get the point. Don't sound like a McDonald's worker, please. You don't gotta say everything in one sentence and just pace yourself with each idea. This is overall a very complicated thing to explain, but if you're watching your video and you just see the same level, you don't raise your volumes, you're gonna completely bore the viewer with your commentary. They're gonna fall asleep. Don't make them fall asleep. You should be seeming very passionate about what you're seeing, and you should be so enthusiastic about creating this video. You're excited, not bored and sad and depressed like McDonald's. This is something I already mentioned in the course, but I just really have to emphasize, which is scripted versus freestyling. Freestyling, guys, is essentially storytelling. And I'm pretty much gonna say the same thing again, but let's say you had an experience outside, you had an experience at school, at work, at the gym, whatever it is, and you're trying to tell your friends and family about that experience you just saw. Are you gonna be reading off a script, or are you guys just gonna be storytelling? Like, yo, you guys won't believe what happened. Basically, this guy at the gym nudged this other guy, and they just started brawling it out. Or would you guys be like, so guys at the gym, these guys were brawling it out, and I saw a fight happen? No one's talking like that. You can use a script to maybe get some ideas out, or if you guys forget what's going on in each clip. But I never needed a script, and it completely changed the way my videos are made. You can really tell the difference between a different channel versus mine. And that's how I really stick out compared to these other channels, because I'm not reading a script. It seems like I'm talking to someone one-on-one. Like I'm talking to you guys right now. Like it really seems like you guys are in front of me. It just takes away the enthusiasm when you're reading something. Like you're giving a speech. It's boring. And listen, if you guys gotta talk to yourselves in the car, in your house, whatever, do it. I talk to myself so many times in the mirror. Getting prepared for this video or getting ready to talk in general, and get used to talking to yourself as weird as it sounds, get used to it. If you can talk to yourself very nicely in a car, by yourself, you can do it on a mic with the mic on. So please, no more scripted videos, no more robotics. Just be very enthusiastic like you're telling a story about what's going on. Now guys, like I said, there are certain tricks and tips you guys can do in order to enhance your commentary, even if you're still very monotone or you're just not that confident yet, to make your voice sound nicer. So there are a couple of things you guys can do within editing that can make your commentary sound more professional and just overall a lot better. That's exactly why I have a little example over here. Is just a quick little sentence of me giving an example on a Karen video. This is just an example, I just made it for this. I'm gonna give you guys a quick listen and then I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what's wrong with it. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Karen Freakouts. On today's video, we're gonna be seeing some crazy clips of the worst Karens I can possibly find. Now, like always, my favorite clip will be at the end, but let's jump into this first one, which is wild. This Karen decides to jump this man for absolutely no reason. He was just walking down the street, minding his own business, and suddenly she came along and just decided to ruin his entire day. Alright, now overall, that was very well done. My voice was still engaging, I was raising the tone, and I got through with it without stuttering too much. There was no ums or buts, and you can understand what I'm saying. However, there's just too many gaps in between the parts where I stop talking and start talking again. Here's exactly what I mean. And I've seen this within your own videos. If you don't pay attention to it, you can overlook it very quickly, but there's certain parts in between here that you guys could cut out that'll make it for a smoother transition into the next sentence. That way, it's just an overall better experience for the viewer, and they're not, like, I guess, waiting for half a second for you to move on to the next part of your video. Yeah, let me just go cut this off, cut these out. I'm just cutting the little trims. I'm just trimming it out. You guys can just, if you guys get rid of this, it's called dead space. And I don't need to do that yet. It's just dead space. Essentially, it's just a moment of silence or where you're still thinking of a thought. Even in parts of here, it's not dead enough. In parts of here, if I see a wide enough gap, I'll cut it out. Why? It just makes my voice and commentary flow a lot better than just random weird gaps. And overall, that'll just bore the viewer very quickly. But let me just give you guys a quick listen. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Karen Freakouts. On today's video, we're going to be seeing some crazy clips of the worst Karens I can possibly find. Now, like always, my favorite clip will be at the end, but let's jump into this first one, which is wild. This Karen decides to jump this man for absolutely no reason. He was just walking down the street, minding his own business, and suddenly she came along and just decided to ruin his entire day. That just sounds so much better, like way better, not even close. And maybe I'm just being a bit too picky, but after doing this for so long, I can notice when there's dead space. You don't want any of that at all. You want constant volume throughout your video. And if there's any parts where there's just nobody talking, even the clips you're reacting to, if there's a part of the video where there's dead space, nobody's talking, nothing's going on, get rid of that. You don't need that part of the video, and you want to keep it engaging and entertaining the entire time. Like I said, even within the clips, if someone's talking in a video, in a clip, and they're just like, so yeah, guys, basically, they're just talking and leaving bits of ums, and I'm like, cut it up, cut their part out. Only keep the most engaging parts within that. And overall, if you guys just fix this one little mistake, even if your commentary is not that good, it'll increase your audience retention by a lot more. And if you guys go through the classroom right here where I said winning video examples, I posted a video from 4 years ago and one recently. The 4 years ago one, I didn't really cut too much dead space if you guys were to watch it. But in the one that's most recent, you can see that my commentary is a lot more clear, it flows a lot better, and there's no dead space at all. So watch them if you guys want a better understanding of how it can affect your video. Now, there is another editing tip that I like to incorporate that makes my commentary sound a lot more professional. And this is where I like to add in either background music, non-copyright background music, or sound effects throughout certain transitions. Maybe I'm going from one clip to the next, or my commentary to the clip, and it makes the video sound so much better and just overall way more professional. And I have an example for you guys I'm going to show you. This is the same thing I just went over. Let me give you guys a quick listen without the music. Welcome back to Karen Freakouts. On today's video, we're gonna be seeing some music, nothing. Now, what I added here was there is a swoosh sound effect when I enter the video, a swoosh sound effect when I'm going to the clip of the video, and then a swoosh sound effect when I exit and go back to my commentary. This, like I said, changes the video so much. I also only added music in some parts where I'm only talking. You guys can do this. It's very tricky, but let's just give it a quick listen, then I'll go over it. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Karen Freakouts. On today's video, we're going to be seeing some crazy clips of the worst Karens I can possibly find. Now, like always, my favorite clip will be at the end, but let's jump into this first one, which is wild. This Karen decides to jump this man for absolutely no reason. He was just walking down the street, minding his own business, and suddenly she came along and just decided to ruin his entire day. No music, nothing else. Let me switch to the end. Doesn't matter. Now, this next one, this Karen isn't good either. She decides to have an absolute. Now this next one, this Karen isn't good either. She decides to have an absolute meltdown in the store, all because she didn't want to pay for this certain item. It's pretty much theft. Thankfully security got involved and this Karen got shut down real quick. Okay, I think you guys get the point. Now, what did I do here versus other YouTubers? I got rid of the dead space that I said in the last part. I just cut it up really shortly, close to only parts I'm ever commentating. I added a little bit of music lightly. Now, the reason I like to add a bit of music, it keeps the viewer engaged a bit more, especially if the music's just a bit catchy. I actually did it on my own YouTube channel that you guys found me in. Every single one of these videos, I add a bit of music in the background throughout the entire video pretty much. I just lowered it a tad bit so it's just always rolling to keep the viewer as stimulated as much as possible. You're trying to constantly overwhelm the viewer with different transitions, different sound effects, different types of music, maybe different clips, constantly. That way they're just not bored throughout the entire video. And then overall, I just added the swoosh. If you guys are not comfortable adding music, you do not have to. This is for more advanced people who know what music to put in the video, what music matches the video itself. Don't do that, but at least add some kind of swoosh sound effect, maybe a pop sound effect, different types of sound effects for transitions. But let me just show you guys how it sounds just without the music. She came along and just decided to ruin his entire day. And then at the end. Now this next one, this Karen isn't good either. She decides to have an app. It's a very small detail, but it'll make your video look so much more professional, especially when the rest of the editing is there. I know it's just a black screen, but I just want to get the point across on how this only has to do with audio and no other editing is done. Just a swoosh and a little bit of music is only added and your video will sound a lot better. Just make sure you're not raising your volume too much with music if you want to do it. Like I said, it's a risk. If you're not using the correct music or if the volume is way too high, it can ruin your video and you can't even hear yourself speak. So be very careful with that. You don't have to do it. In fact, I recommend not using it unless you are more advanced. Now in this next part, it's about building your own commentary style, which is pretty much your online personality for YouTube. Like if one person was just going to hear your voice, they can pick out that exact YouTuber because you just have a certain style when you commentate, explain videos, maybe it's your opinions, whatever. This will take time. Developing your own unique voice when it comes down to how you commentate is not going to be something you're going to learn in the first 10, 20 videos. Once again, if you guys go back to the video from 4 years ago, you guys can easily tell that I changed a bit from 4 years ago to now, especially since I switched my niche. What I decided to do was I decided to look at the top commentators within my niche, compare myself to them, replicate the way they're commentating, replicate what they're saying. I'm not coming up with these random ideas in my head about what to say in the clip. I'm just looking at what they're saying in the clip and I'm like, I can say that or I can say that a bit better. That is all. So study your competition very well because you're just going to replicate exactly what they're doing. If it worked for them, it's going to work for you. And no, don't give me this rubbish that your voice sucks, your voice is bad, your voice is different. No, I don't want to hear it. As long as some people can understand what you're saying, you can do this easily. Also, experiment with different styles until one sticks. Basically, the same with the niche. You guys are going to be testing out different niches. Whatever niche blows up first, stick with that one. If that means you have to be more serious, your styles be more serious, stick with being more serious. If that means you have to be goofy for majority of the videos, so be it. Whatever video blows up, replicate the way you commentated during that part of the video. Now, I really just want to wrap everything I just said by saying this is a skill and skills take time to learn. Commentating is not something easy you're going to figure out the first week, month, or even first 2-3 months. Yes, you may have videos blowing up, but you're definitely going to be getting criticized in the comments for the way you're commentating, and it's perfectly normal. Till this day, I still get those 1 or 2 comments saying, hey, can this guy please shut up? Wow, this guy is talking for too long. My God, why can't he just go on with the video? It happens, but guess what? That just means I have to improve. Don't take the criticism that your viewers may be saying too seriously, especially when it comes down to commentating. Don't let it discourage you. And as long as you're persistent with this and you're commentating at least once a day, without a doubt, you're going to get better by the 1000th video you post. It's just a normal thing that people learn. Same with editing. You're going to get better with your editing style, the sound effects you're going to be using. Maybe you have a signature music in your background that's only for your channel. Whatever it may be, the more you do it, the easier it will become. Look at your first video versus your 100th video, and you'll be embarrassed about what you posted in the first video. It's a normal part and experience with YouTube. Trust me. Now, if I still see people being very monotone, boring, and still in your videos, I'm going to be pointing it out, and I'm going to be putting you guys on the spot saying, hey, you sound very robotic here. Hey, you sound very boring here. Let's try to improve that in the next video. If you guys are going to take away one thing from this, just please do not sound like a McDonald's drive-thru worker. Please.